What we have coming up for you is very special, as you're going to meet another one of America's heroes, an Air Force para-rescuer named August O'Neill.
August's parents served in the military, and he wanted to serve his country. He would enlist in the Air Force and serve in Afghanistan. He paid a dear price due to that courageous service.
And you're not going to believe what August has been willing to give up for the chance to serve again. With his story, here's Chris Conley.
Can I get your full name and your birthday?
August O'Neill, January 5th, 1985.
Today, October 17th, Air Force Staff Sergeant August O'Neill will undergo the 21st operation on his wounded knee.
How's your knee right now?
I think it knows that it's coming off, and it hasn't hurt at all, like, since last night.
It will be his last. Born to parents in the military, he followed his older brother Rob into the Air Force and into intensive training as a para-rescuer.
Basically, our job is to get in and get anybody out of any situation, whether it's on top of a mountain, underneath the ocean, behind enemy lines, anywhere.
He told me one time, when I'm on a helicopter, that's the best pleasure in the world. That if I ever have to die, that's the way I want to go, into the clouds, and because I feel free.
On July 15, 2011, O'Neill was on board a helicopter dispatched to rescue a team of Marines in Afghanistan when his chopper was hit by enemy fire.
There was a really loud pop, and then something smacked my left leg into my right. And I got on the radio and I was like, I got hit. I looked down and I just saw a hole in my pants with blood flowing out of it.
O'Neill had been shot through both legs, shattering his left knee. Even before he was stabilized at Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany, he had chosen to re-enlist. At his bedside to swear him in was a fellow para-rescuer, his older brother, Rob.
Emotional. Sorry. All right. My brother's always been a hero to me. It was real special to me that he could have been the one to re-enlist me in my hospital bed. There's been a lot of emotional roller coasters. The mental aspect of having to think about all the things you can't do, that's really where it gets you, is trying to stay above that and trying to prove yourself wrong.
O'Neill would undergo countless hours of physical therapy in an attempt to regain any kind of functionality in his left leg, with his service dog Kai as his constant companion.
He is my sanity, I call him, because I was really, really depressed. Never been suicidal in any way, shape, or form, but you know, sometimes you get those, well, if I wasn't here, it wouldn't be so, it would be okay. Just thinking of Kai, you know, that immediately gets rid of any thought like that. It's my best friend, and I take him everywhere I go.
At the pool, O'Neill began training with a coach.
That's it. How'd that feel?
I discovered there are other people like me capable of doing things that other people can do even though they're injured. I found my love for competition again.
He goes from being in a bed, you know, crutches. Now, when he gets in the water to swim, he's the same as everybody else in there. And sometimes he thinks, yeah, no, I'm better than everybody else in the water.
This September, he took part in 3 separate events at the Warrior Games and earned 5 gold medals in swimming. But not even the joy of victory could take away the sheer agony in his left leg.
The pain is excruciating all the time. My mobility with this leg is very, very limited. My leg's just bending now. It's bending in. If you see it, it looks like a boomerang.
And so, on this day, October 17th, by his own choice,
What are we doing for you today?
Chopping this thing off.
Staff Sergeant August O'Neill is having his left leg amputated above the knee.
And we talked about the skin flaps and things like that. I still think I'm going to use this nice anterior skin flap.
Okay.
Even though we have scars here, I think it'll give you the best limb possible.
Sounds good to me.
Then it's a lot of work. You're
Ready
up
for it.
You're up for it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions for me?
No.
Say goodbye to everybody. We'll get you into the locker room here shortly.
All right. It's been 3 years, and it's time to move on with my life one way or the other, and this is going to be the route.
Love you, man.
24 hours later, alone, O'Neill is sharing his new reality on social media and standing up for the first time.
It's a very emotional to see your son not with his leg anymore. I mean, you wish that it would be you really laying there. But you have to sit yourself say, no, that's my son. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna pull through it, and everything's gonna be all right.
He will begin to use a prosthesis, and then, at 29, Staff Sergeant August O'Neill will again pursue the dream he has harbored since he was wounded.
I will have the option or opportunity to try and come back as an active duty pararescueman again and get on a team and deploy again and be with my boys again. And I want to keep doing things that I enjoy in my life, and I enjoy doing my job. That would be the ultimate goal.
And here he is in the rehab gym at the Center for the Intrepid, triumphantly standing with us. Staff
Powerful.
Sergeant August O'Neill, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
August, you just had surgery less than a month ago, and you reached a milestone this week, taking your first steps. Can you show America the progress?
Of course.
Good. Pause. I want you to remember, shift over this part. Hands opposite. Go.
August is working with his therapist, Alicia.
Wow.
That boy.
Oh, fantastic. All right. That is great. What does it feel like to be able to do that?
It's great. I mean, that's the straightest I've walked in over 3 years. So it's kind of emotional. It's a good feeling to be able to walk like that and not have the pain that I used to have.
Can you describe those emotions for us if you could put it into words?
Like a choking feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I kind of get choked up a little bit about it. You know, it's just the lack of pain while I'm walking is huge for me, and being able to walk upright without a ridiculous limp is, you know, it's great.
You're
It's
a
hard to
guy.
describe.
You're a guy that likes to set goals too, and there's a big goal here. You want to return to duty.
Yes, sir.
And you want to go back into a plane and skydive.
Oh, yeah.
How do you train for that coming off of this injury?
Well, I mean, it's baby steps right now, training to walk and then run, and then we'll hit those milestones when we come to them.
And there's nothing here you can train with. You literally have to go back on a plane and skydive, right? There's
Yeah,
no
it's
machine
very
here
true.
in the
Oh,
facility.
No, I mean, I guess I could jump off the balcony, but
I
it'd
wouldn't
probably
recommend
hurt.
that.
Yes.
If there's something you could have the folks at home understand, you know, when they see your story, because you made a decision to come out and talk about this publicly. Not everybody would have done this. What do you want the folks at home to know, and what do you want them to get out of your story?
Basically, just for everyone, you know, I went through 3.5 years trying to save my leg and trying to make just so that I had a better way of life. And, you know, you never know what you're capable of until, you know, you're seeing other people reach their milestones, and then, you know, you're stepping yourself up to be equal with them. And you just got to set goals and make sure you strive every day to reach those goals, and strive every day to be better than you were yesterday. It's a cliche saying, but it's true.
What's it like working out in this gym with other wounded veterans and seeing that you guys have that unified fight?
It's amazing. You know, from the beginning when I still had my leg, like I would see guys that, you know, single, double, triple amputees, and they're able to push harder and faster than I was going, and so that I would always use them as examples for myself. If I was like, oh man, I'm really tired today, then I'd just see somebody else go running by me in a leg when they just got injured a little while ago, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I got to push through this. So it's amazing being here and working with the therapists and everything. You know, everybody pushes each other to work harder.
And yet there are people watching that can't even begin to imagine why you would want to go back out, why you would want to put yourself potentially in harm's way again to serve your country. Can you explain that, why that's your dream?
Well, I love my job. You know, I worked real hard to get to my job. Training for pararescues, very difficult. And, you know, the brotherhood that you get from all of your teammates, and for instance, just the wives of my team here, they've been bringing me meals, you know, since I got amputated, which, you know, is nice.
Got to work it off now.
Exactly. That's what I'm in here for. But yeah, it's going back to a brotherhood and a lifestyle that I really enjoyed, and I love doing my job. So it's what I want to continue doing.
How's your family feel about this?
Oh, they're all about it. I got a military family, and my mother was raised by a Marine World War II vet, and so she was hoorah her whole life. And,
Semper Fi.
you know, and my dad, you know, he's just like, well, you got your mother's genes, but go for it, buddy, if that's what you want. So.
All right, how about another triumphant walk again for us? All right, we can't see enough of it. There he is, Staff Sergeant August O'Neill, an inspiration to us all. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the face of resilience. August O'Neill, thanks.
Thank you. Oh, let's get him in the shot. Yeah, your best friend.
And his constant companion, Kai, right there.